It was 3 a.m. when a metallic clang from the barn jolted Tom Wheeler awake, his heart pounding like a jackhammer. His rooster squawked in panic, and Tom, clutching his blanket like a lifeline, knew something was wrong. Levying alone on his quiet farm, with only goats, chickens, and 2 barn cats for company, he wasn't expecting VY Ciderson unless his cows had learned to throw parties. Something, or someone, was in his barn. Grabbing a flashlight and shovying his feet into mismatched boots, Tom stumbled into the chilly night, half expecting to star in a horror flick. The barn door creaked ominously, swinging just enough to fuel his dread. He hesitated, pulse racing, then stepped inside. No monsters, no axe-wielding maniacs, just a half-eaten cookie, a neatly folded fleece blanket, and a pile of hay arranged like a budget hotel bed. Teenagers, he thought, seeking a hideout. He cleaned it up and went back to bed, chalking it to curiosity. But the intrusions didn't stop. The next night, his flashlight caught a silver thermos glinting in the corner, paired with a dogged romance novel and a pack of breath mints. The night after, cheap earbuds dangled from a nail, as if someone had turned his barn into a cozy lounge. Tom didn't tell anyone at first, but barely believed it himself. Who'd buy that his barn was someone's secret clubhouse? But after the 3rd night, he confided in his buddy Jake, the town's resident conspiracy nut, who swore it was either a drifter, a cult, or some viral internet stunt. Jake offered to camp out with a drone and a paintball gun. Tom laughed it off but took his advice to install a trail camera. The next morning, Tom nearly choked on his coffee. There, in VYVYD color, was Linda Grayson, queen of the local HOA, the woman who'd once slapped him with a DUI 150 fine for parking his tractor too close to her fence. Bundled in a floral robe and wool socks, she was curled up in the hayloft, sipping from her thermos, watching a soap opera on her tablet, his cats purring around her like she was their goddess. Linda, the tyrant who policed mailbox colors, was sneaking into his barn to binge drama her husband banned at home. Fuming, Tom printed the footage and marched to her door. Linda answered in a pristine tracksuit, her face a mask of suburban smugness. He thrust the photo at her. She blinked, then claimed she was inspecting for pests. Tom asked what kind of pest needed a blanket and melodrama. She gasped, feigning confusion, insisting the image was fake. When he mentioned his camera didn't do Photoshop, her facade cracked. Tears poured as she confessed her home felt like a prison, her husband's rules suffocating her. But before Tom could process, she snapped back, warning his barn violat HOA closure rules. He walked away, head spinning. She admitted to trespassing, cried, then threatened him, all in one breath. That night, she was back, bolder, lugging a pillow and a tote bag like she was moving in. Tom watched from his porch, anger rising. This wasn't just about her escape, it was entitlement. The woman who'd shamed his wildflower patch now claimed his barn because it was peaceful. He needed a plan, something loud, chaotic, and undeniable. He called Jake and said, "Let's build a siren in the barn." Jake arrived in his rattling truck, grinning like he'd won the lottery. "I've been waiting for this," he said, hauling out a motion sensor from a failed project and an old police siren he'd snagged at a flea market. They wired the sensor to the siren, hid it behind a hay bale, and tested it. The wail was so piercing it sent a goat tumbling into a trough. But noise wasn't enough, they needed spectacle. Jake suggested motion-activated sprinklers, rigged to a faucet and linked to the sensor. After hours of cursing and a near electrocution, it was ready. Linda would trip the sensor, the siren would scream, and icy water would drench her. For flair, they hung a sign outside. "Warning, government testing site. No entry. Sudden noise may cause flatulence." Jake cackled at the last part. Tom figured it'd throw Linda off just enough. That night, Tom left the barn unlocked, baiting her. At 10:45, his phone buzz camera feed showed Linda in silk pajamas, tiptoeing with her tablet and thermos. She slipped inside, and chaos erupted. The siren howled, dogs barked miles away, and sprinklers unleashed a freezing deluge. Through binoculars, Tom saw Linda flail, her tablet flying, slippers skidding as she screamed. Betrayal! Soaked and slipping on hay, she fled, tripping over a bucket, her robe a soggy mess. Jake, filming from the road, streamed it to the neighborhood watch page. Linda vs. Karma, live! Comments flooded in laughing emojis, popcorn gifs, and one neighbor joking. She's lucky it wasn't bees. But Linda didn't back down. The next morning, she stormed Tom's porch, dripping in flip-flops, clutching her waterlogged tablet. She accused him of booby-trapping and threatened legal action. Tom held up his footage of her trespassing. She ignored it, ranting about her right to peace. He told her to respect his privacy. She vowed the HOA would crush him, claiming his barn violated her aura. Tom suggested she dry off and left her fuming. The neighborhood buzzed. Strangers honked, while VYing at Tom's farm. A screenshot of Linda's soggy sprint hit the feed store window, captioned, "Local woman discovers rain." But Linda escalated. A county SUV appeared near her house, and soon Tom got a noise complaint, citing sensitive indie duels, disturbed by his siren. Jake's cousin at the county office, Sarah, laughed when Tom sent the footage, saying it had gone viral in the break room. Still, rules demanded he adjust the siren unless he had a legal defense. That defense came via Jake, who found Linda's HOA flyer. It mapped Tom's barn as part of a community wellness space, with yoga decks and a petting zoo. She wasn't just sneaking, she was plotting to steal his land. Tom confirmed his deed, which included a buffer Linda had mowed over, claiming as her own. He declared the barn an agricultural utility, legalizing his defenses. The noise complaint was void. Linda struck again, reporting, distressed, goats to animal control. Officer Ben arrived, petted a goat, and declared them happier than kids on a trampoline. Then Tom found strange paw prints and a soaked ferret in a feed bin, cornered by his cats. Nearby was Linda's designer handbag, stuffed with HOA papers, a permit application for Tom's address, and sketches of Linda's Serenity Barn. She'd planned a takeover for months. Tom turned it all over to the county. Sarah called it attempted fraud. Within days, Linda got a cease and desist, delivered as she tried to hide behind her curtains. She vanished for a day, then retaliated with an HOA newsletter branding Tom's farm a biohazard. She dumped yoga mats and planters on his land, hoping to trap him in a violation. Tom documented it, and Linda faced fines for illegal dumping. He fought back with a barn chill zone, inviting neighbors for goat yoga and tea. 30 showed up, laughing and petting animals, while Linda glared through binoculars. She tried sneaking again, but the sprinklers caught her, and Jake's clip, "Night Ninja returns," went viral. Rumors swirled she'd sell her house as HOA members rebelled against her drama. When her MOVing truck arrived, neighbors watched like it was a parade, sipping coffee, saying nothing as Linda left in defeat. Tom upgraded the barn, a new door, a deck, a stage for music. It became a community haven. The new neighbor, Ellen, brought rabbit cuddles and killer cinnamon rolls, hating drama as much as Tom. The HOA calmed, and the barn saga became legend. One night, Jake asked if Linda was ruling another HOA. Tom grinned. "Bet they've got sprinklers." Under the stars, with goats bleeding and peace restored, Tom knew defending his barn took noise, water, and grit, but it was worth every drop.